Hey up, how are we? Filming on the Action 2. Welcome to EPK Session 1. So it's Monday. We came in early to basically fit the desk up in a way. So the programmer, Elliot, wanted to be closer to the DOP, which stands for Director of Photography, so they can talk about, you know, different types of lighting states and all this kind of thing, which of course is absolutely cool, absolutely fine. So we moved the desk this morning. It was all a bit of a rush this morning, thinking that it was all going to be hands on deck from 7:30 this morning. However, that was not the case, because sometimes these things happen. So yeah, we came in early. Everyone else came in around about 11, but we got set up, we got ready to start the day. So now they're in there now, and basically we've got a cue list of things they want to film, ready for the tour version of the trailer in a way. So Elliot is currently throwing through some cues, and the DOP and the lighting guys sat next to them and saying, you know, up a bit, red a bit, left a bit, down a bit, right? And that's essentially how it works. So yeah, it's exciting. EPKs are always a bit exciting. There's a lot of nice kit here, and I'm just going to take you through now and kind of show you what's going on. Okay, so as you all know, it's fairly difficult for me to film a lot on the first day of stuff. For example, you know, filming the first day of MLA, because we need to be in a good place for me then to be able to pick up the camera and to kind of take that time away and to show you all what's going on. So now we're on day 2 of the EPK, and all day 1 was about was getting the list of cues, setting the cameras up, and then running through those cues with their lighting department and their director of photography. So in a way, kind of a bit of a boring day. Really interesting to see their setups and whatnot, and really interesting to see their thoughts on things, because lighting for video and lighting for, well, live events is 2 very separate entities. Essentially, the way you've got to look at it is the camera picks up things that your eyes automatically do. So for example, we might think of something to be very bright. However, the camera sees that as overexposed. So therefore, if we were to film that section that our eyes see very bright, the camera would just be, well, blurred white. And that's because our eyes can automatically adjust to that brightness and the camera can't. So it's about knowing what we were doing today and making sure that when we came in today, we didn't necessarily have to make those drastic changes we've had to make to the show for the EPK. And again, you know, it's very interesting because the EPK team sit there and use all this terminology to which we know as a good thing. So for example, as you know, on the bottom of our pros we have our auras, which do a lot of our side light face fill, and we call that fill. You know, we're filling the shadows in, so therefore when you watch it on stage, everyone's lit. However, because the EPK team are doing such close-up shots and such delicate kind of shots, they don't see it as fill, they see it as spill. So again, for example, they see that light as brightening up the corners of their point of view or their camera shot. We see it as a fill for faces. So it's all about taking that down and finding that middle ground to where you're not necessarily affecting the look and design of the show, but you're getting the best product you can from this EPK so everyone can be seen. And it's about compromise. You know, you have to compromise a lot when you're in the live event industry and an EPK session comes in, because, you know, stuff like the camera can't pick up what you would pick up, you think is very integral to the show, and it's a design choice. However, the camera doesn't necessarily see that, or if it does, it sees it the wrong way. So for example, if you've got a heavy backlight, we watch that and go, wow, you know, that's picking up a group downstage centre and kind of just pushing them downstage a lot. However, because of the camera, and again because of what the camera can see, all it actually sees is just a white beam of light. You don't necessarily get that same aspect. So yeah, so it's about compromise, and it's about keeping the integrity of the show and the design of the show as is, but also the EPK is very important in a political way because it's what sells the tickets, right? So it needs to look absolutely spot on. So we're in day 2 and the cast are currently on stage going through the sections that we already looked at yesterday. And that's not to say they're not going to change. You know, we might see it with faces on and with cast on and say, okay, we need to take that up a bit, down a bit, left a bit, right a bit, like I said in the first clip. So I'll take you along, we'll see what we can get done. And yeah, like again, it is very eye-opening. It's very exciting because these are, you know, new technologies, new people that have never seen the show before necessarily, and we're filming something now which we're going to see for years to come on this tour. So that's a weird concept, but it's really exciting. So let me take you in, let me show you what's going on, and I'm sure I'll catch up with you in a bit. Delightful. It's been scorching hot for like literally the past month. Now look at it. I enjoy it though. It's like being at home. It's good. Okay, so this is something I didn't quite explain what was going to happen, because I didn't know it was going to happen. So as you can see, this is a POV of Elliot at the desk. So Elliot is currently sat next to the director of photography, and this is so they can be in constant communication to make the changes needed. So Elliot has a fresh new show file, which is obviously a carbon copy of our show file, however a new one, so therefore the changes made won't affect the actual show. So as you can see, Elliot is tapping away to make the changes the DOP wants. So big thank you to Elliot for letting me stick a camera on his chest so we can get this POV. He's an absolutely amazing programmer and a top lad to have around. So yes, enjoy some of Elliot's tapping away on a desk. The EPK is over, so now it's literally all hands on deck to pack everything down, as you can see. So we're just running a quick rig check just to make sure nothing was touched, everything's good, everything's happy, and then get ready for a show tonight. It's been a long 2 days, but I hope you enjoyed it. A lot of information, a lot of new exciting stuff as well, especially for the videos, which is always good. And yeah. Okay, so currently editing the video, and I realised I didn't necessarily end those past 2 days very well. Just dirty. I just need to give you a clean. That's better. So I hope you understood the concept of an EPK. I explained it quite intensely in that first little clip of day 2. However, the concept is the same. We're filming something, we're filming the show, and we're making it into an advert, and that advert is distributed out, and therefore we sell tickets. And that is the basic concept of an EPK. You know, it's not even filmed for archive or anything like that. We do that ourselves. But again, highly important for the politics of the show and to make money, and you know, also it's just cool to watch, right? It's a show that we see every single day, and but we see it with our own eyes, and we see the non-edited version of the show. So it is quite cool to see how other people and other creatives put this little trailer together of 30 seconds and show off our show. So we are very much coming to the end of the London run, and very much coming to the end of anything external coming in, which could be quite exciting, which is slightly annoying because I wish I'd have filmed more at the start of London and the end of Manchester. However, it is what it is. So Tuesday next week, me and Craig have got a task of fitting up our ASM's trundles with LED tape, which doesn't sound that exciting, but we're going to have to use some power tools and drill things and solder things, so I suppose we can take you on a bit of a day there. But apart from that, our next day probably will be the out of Hammersmith, which again is new water for me. I've just gotten used to people around me, which is quite nice. I've gotten used to me picking up a camera and kind of just talking about it. However, on the out, I still don't know yet how much I'm going to be able to film and get. However, it is something that I am going to work on, because I do think it is probably one of the most interesting aspects of my job and what we do. So I've got a few ideas in my head on what to do. I'm currently making a presets list for the desk for when we start relighting, so I could possibly show you how I do that and, you know, my desk setup for that. Also definitely a paperwork session. I know I've been saying it, I know it's quite boring, but definitely a paperwork session, and then maybe even more of an in-depth MLA session. Listen, Hammersmith has been good, it's been long, we've worked a hell of a lot of hours just to get it to where it is now, ready to tour, which is in my opinion in a really good place. So much politics goes on with a show, and I think it's important to say that when you're of a position of a HOD, that 80% of your job is politics and pleasing people and meetings and emails, and then, you know, your other 20% is the show. I think that is very important to know that as much as it might seem like me and Craig don't really do a lot, no, we don't, we're lampies, but as much as, you know, it doesn't seem that way, there's so much that is going on behind the scenes to try and implement all these different types of days, like the EPK sessions and the MLA sessions and stuff like that, so they run so smoothly. And a big shout out to Craig, because on these videos I've been doing him a little bit dirty with these video clips. They're funny. Craig is ace, and he's got such a great mentality, and he's just such a good person to have around, and really good at his job. Yes, Craig paid me to say that. And as I always say, you know, let me know what you guys want to see. These videos aren't getting a million hits, and that's not the idea of them. These are for the people that are watching them and are sending comments and messaging me on Instagram and stuff like that. Let me know what you want to see. I have had a few about show watches and whatnot. It's quite difficult for me to do that, because it's like, then it's like my work and it has to go through a select number of people to try and get that ball rolling. But if I can show you something which you want to see, then just let me know, and I promise you I'll either film it on TikTok if it's just a 10-second thing, or if I get a few people asking, I'll make a video about it. Because that's the idea. I'm trying to make these videos for the curious mind, you know, people who are intrigued or are getting into the industry. I'm not going to do another 3-minute talk about this, but you get the gist. So seriously, honestly, anything you want to see, anything you want to know, absolutely anything, other departments, just ask and I'll see what I can do. Listen, so that was EPK, and it's been long, it's been hard, but hopefully the end product will come out boss. Please spread the word. We're making moves on this channel, I'm telling you. People are really liking the idea of it. People are commenting, we're getting different views each day, we're getting subscribers each day. Listen, do me one favour, if you're watching this video, you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. I'm really bad with my social media, so if a video goes out, then, and I don't tell anyone, that's just me, right? So you need to subscribe to see these new videos coming through. Spread the word, let anybody know. I know they've been really helpful for certain people in the industry. You know, they've been sending me messages and different ways of doing things and everything like that, which I'm very open with. It's a cool concept. It's kind of becoming this bit of a forum for people to talk on and share their ideas and share the way they do things, which is essentially what I wanted in a way. You know, I've said it since day one. There's a million ways to do one thing in this industry, and I do it one way, you might do it the other way. So thank you for watching. I will see you in maybe a week's time, fitting up some LED tape on some trundles with Craig, and I'll give the camera to Craig, because Craig wants to be featured more. I heard it from him himself, so Craig wants to be featured more, so he can take the camera on the fitting up of the LED tape, and we'll see how that goes, eh? No, it's going to be good, it's going to be a laugh. Thank you very much for watching, I really appreciate it. Let me know down below if you've got any questions, anything you want to see, and I'll see you next week in the new video.